Work leaders use the healer role to keep changes in behaviors and attitudes from turning into a crisis. But when they are faced with a full-blown crisis that threatens to tear people and organizations apart, they confront it immediately. They can respond quickly because, in the role of the protector, they defend their employees and customers against threats to their mission and survival. Work leaders have developed a crisis approach mentality that allows them to see signs that a threat is looming. When those signs appear, they are prepared to respond immediately with a methodology that is suited to any situation. In this way, they can manage the threat of conflict that arises during every crisis. Conflict can lead to arguments over territory, the placing of blame, or the fear of taking action to resolve the crisis. Work leaders experience 20 to 40% lower levels of conflict and crisis than average leaders, as measured by labor grievances and work actions, customer service and quality problems, financial losses or budget overruns, unplanned employee turnover, and legal problems such as malpractice suits. They also address crises in less than half the time of average leaders, either by resolving the conflict or launching an effective plan of action to correct the problem. While a catastrophe may never be exactly as planned, the process needed to manage it is. By mastering the skills that cut through the chaos to the core problem, you can quickly reduce a threat from the crisis level to the problem-solving level. The Protector's crisis management approach can be adopted by using two tools: the Risk Assessment Guide and the Conflict Management Guide. The Risk Assessment Guide follows a three-stage process. In Stage 1, work leaders anticipate the risk. They identify the type of risk, where it is coming from, whether it is a high or low-level threat, and how long it is likely to last. In Stage 2, good leaders plan to take charge. Rather than rushing into action, they plan their moves carefully even in urgent situations. They establish an objective, consult the people they lead, act boldly, dominate the situation, and lead by example. In Stage 3, they learn from the risk. They ask, what were the consequences? Did we respond well? What is the risk now? This last question brings them back to Stage 1 because they continue to assess risks even as their threat decreases. In any crisis, there is always the possibility of interpersonal conflict. As the work leaders in Murphy's study explained their strategy for conflict management, it became clear that they follow a set of principles to apply a plan of action. These principles and the plan make up the second tool, the Conflict Management Guide. The 9 basic principles that guide work leaders' actions are: 1. Use confusion and conflict as opportunities to take the initiative. 2. Assess the risk personally. 3. Contain the risk to keep it from spreading confusion and frustration. 4. Never align yourself with criticism of others without validating the matter yourself. 5. Correct misrepresentations or false charges immediately. 6. Address one conflict or risk at a time. 7. Minimize formal conflict through persuasion and dialogue. 8. Make conflicting parties responsible for their own behavior by guiding their dialogue. And 9. Constantly measure solutions against the values and the mission of the company. To apply these principles, work leaders follow a 10-step process for managing conflict. In Step 1, listen to Party A. During a routine conversation, this party may reveal the first signs of conflict by making a critical remark about Party B. Rather than intervening at this point, respond with a neutral comment such as, "I understand your concern." Then take Step 2. Observe and monitor the situation so you can make your own assessment. If you overreact to a complaint, you may spread the conflict. If, however, Party A complains again, you've reached Step 3. Listen to Party A once more and then take action. In Step 4, approach Party B and problem solve with him. Ask him to review his must-dos and roadblocks. What must you accomplish, and what's getting in the way of doing it? This will give you an idea of Party B's awareness of the conflict and its potential impact on customer service. Then take Step 5. Call both parties together for a dialogue. Note that this meeting occurs in the middle of the process, not at the beginning. Work leaders collect information from both sides first so that they can take control of the meeting via Step 6. Clarify each party's position. Direct their attention to the difference of opinion. Then ask each party to confirm or clarify the issues at stake. Once they've both presented their views, use Step 7. Guide the dialogue by asking them to acknowledge that this conflict could harm their ability to provide service to the customer. This reinforces their sense of personal responsibility. Now you can move the dialogue forward with the problem-solving and negotiating tools we've already explored. These tools will allow you to take steps 8 and 9, identify possible solutions, and seek a consensus. If an agreement cannot be reached, adjourn the meeting and try again at a second meeting. If the second attempt fails, it may be necessary to assert your authority to take step 10, make a decision to protect the customer.